What's up, Cass?
Hello.
Okay, so not for TMI, but I had a raging headache,
Mm-hmm.
2 nights ago and woke up and was sick the whole night. Like the migraine caused me to throw up and be sick for hours. And I slept all day yesterday and all through the night. And sleep is a miracle worker because I woke up feeling amazing. I literally, like, during my meditation, I would just be like, I feel so good. And I'm like dancing, running around. And anyways, I like went to the store. Going to the grocery store is like fun now.
I know. I like get dressed up to do it.
But everybody who asked me, like, how are you? I did not hesitate. I said, I'm amazing. And they were really surprised because everybody's energy has been pretty low, I think.
Right.
And just decided, like, I'm unapologetically going to feel amazing. And that gives other people permission to do so too, you know? And everybody was definitely caught off guard by my positivity, I think. But then by the end, and I had real good conversations with these people, by the end of it, they were like, you have an amazing day. And I'm like, you too. And they were feeling amazing, you know?
Aw.
So even if you don't feel amazing, which I really do feel amazing, but even if
That's
you
good.
don't, that's what happens after you throw up everything. Just kidding. That doesn't feel amazing. But like once you feel so crappy, like any bit of feeling good is just amazing. But
Oh yeah.
but
Sleep
yeah,
helps
like
so much.
even if you don't feel amazing, just say you do, because saying you do like changes something in your biochemistry and you really do start to feel amazing.
Did you pull cards this morning?
I did. I pulled cards.
I saw them on your Instagram story.
So here's what I do. I have these cards and I usually only pull one. But I have a couple, but this is like my favorite deck, The Universe Has Your Back by Gabrielle Bernstein. And you just shuffle the cards, and then usually I'll just do one that like will land or fly out of the deck when I'm like shuffling them like crazy. And these three landed out, and I was like, I can have 3 cards. I don't have to pick one.
Let's go.
And I was meditating a lot on okay, I've had a lot of time to think, obviously, because there's been so much time. But I've had a lot of time to scroll on social media and think, and I just came off of a social media break. And honestly, like my biggest takeaway from my social media break was that I was not constantly comparing myself to other people. And so as soon as I got back on, I had to have like a conversation with myself of, Heidi, like you got to use this responsibly. You got to, like, I'm purely only on social media because I want to show up for hustle and flow, and I want to show up and inspire people because that brings me joy. But it's so easy to compare yourself and like see what everybody's been doing and see how far along everybody is. And, you know, I've had to have a conversation with myself of like, Heidi, like, what are your goals? Because I see people doing things and they seem happy. And so I say to myself, like, I need to do that. But that's not true. Like, that's not, you know? And so I've had to have a conversation with myself of, you know, like, what makes you really happy and like your joy? Like, what is your authentic joy? Like, if we were to crack my heart open and really see like the things that make me happy, bring me happiness, like those are authentic things that nobody can like replicate, you know? There is joy in that. And so all the cards I picked really were in line with that. This was the first one. My fearless freedom lights up the world. And I think there's something fearless. There's like, that is facing a fear, like just freely being you, authentically being you, and embracing that is fearless and that is freeing, you know? And it's true. It does light up the world because it brings something that like is not a carbon copy of somebody else. And then the other one that I chose, the other one that came out was Joy
I like this one.
Is the ultimate creator, hiding my corona nails. It is. If you, and you know what, we can talk about this, but like if you just, I think we talked about this on the last live we did. We talked about how if you just write down the things that you enjoy and that you are good at, if you just like pursue those things, like you can start to create. It's incredible. Sometimes I receive the best news and like things flow to me easier and I get things better if I'm in the midst of joy. Like I'll be on vacation and I'll find out I booked a project, or you know what I mean? And it's like always for whatever reason, traveling always like puts me in that flow state. And then the last one I picked was just this little gratitude
Aw.
Read it.
Thank you, universe, for helping me see beyond the limits of fear. Thank you for expanding my perception so that I can see what is of the highest good.
Is that
Amen.
backwards?
No,
It's
not for
not?
me.
Okay. Because to me it's
For you.
backwards, but it's not.
You were like, I can't read this.
But yeah, you know, like I think so many people are afraid to love their authentic self and afraid to show that authentic, vulnerable side of themselves, and they're afraid to go after their dreams because for whatever reason, like just doing it is gonna be painful because you're going to experience rejection. And so for that exact reason, people will detour on the way to their dreams, and they will see what other people are doing because they know that it worked for them, so they see it as safe, and so they get trapped in this, like they make a right turn and they just keep making a right turn, and then you're in circles and you're in this thing that's like safe maybe, but like who knows what greatness is just on the other side of being like, this is my true joy, like I'm gonna follow that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's really good. I feel like there is well, maybe there always has been this kind of cookie cutter way of like how to look and dress and whatever to be successful. And I feel like social media in a way, like I think there are sides of it that kind of make that worse, and there are sides of it that take down all of those limitations and walls and barriers, because there are so many people that are like fearlessly being themselves and like being unique and using their personalities and being different, looking different, acting different, being true to themselves on social media, and they've like been successful with that. So I think it encourages people to, okay, well, they're doing something different, so I'm gonna do like something different too. I'm gonna be myself also. But then there's also that other side of so many more like girls that have to be like tan and have big boobs and have big lips and have, you know, eyebrows tattooed on and like hair, and like everything is, so I have to look like this and have this body and have this outer appearance and like perfect teeth and like all of that. And then there's like these characters that are on social media too that we get connected with them as human beings. And it's just a whole thing. And I think being stuck at home has definitely given me more time to like be on social media, to watch YouTube videos, to watch people on TikTok, to like get into all of that, which is fun at first, usually for me, but then somewhere it hits a certain point where I'm like, oh, I wish I had a house in the hills that I was stuck at home in, you know what I mean? Instead of like my whatever. And so then I become ungrateful for what I have, become too materialistic and criticizing myself and comparing myself, whereas I don't need that in my life. And I've had to remind myself so many times the last couple of days that I'm extremely happy with where I am right now. I have an apartment, like it is nicely furnished. It's everything that I need. It's more than what I need. Like I've had to sit back and kind of count my blessings and be proud of myself for how far I have come and what I am doing with my life and everything. So that's been the crazy like roller coaster with everything I feel like going on.
I bet there's somebody listening who can relate to that completely. And I actually, something I've been doing in my morning routine, which makes me feel like so freaking good, is my mantra is I am enough. Like everything I'm doing is enough. The books I am reading are enough. The pace at which I'm learning is enough. You know, like the way I'm showing up is enough. And like I have this thing of like wanting to do so much and I want to have it now. And because I have it now, it's not enough and I'm not doing enough. Blah, 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 blah. But the truth is that what I am doing is enough and the pace at which I'm doing it is enough. And eventually I will get there if I just keep affirming that it is enough. I will keep doing it and I will be consistent and I will not give up.
Yeah, that's good. I literally, I've thought a couple times like, oh man, wouldn't it be nice like if I was able to go house shopping and like buy a house, or be like building a house or moving in right now, or like having all these things, like that instant like gratification type of like, I wish I had like a song that like got millions and millions of whatever, and I was making all this money all of a sudden so that I could go spend it on something huge like that. You know what I mean? Like something crazy and big that's like one day there will be huge success or something to celebrate. There always is something to celebrate in the future, near future, and far future, whatever. so it's just like, I need to be patient and I need to put the work in now so that I can celebrate any sort of like achieving a goal or anything, any sort of success, little or big. And I think too, celebrating the little things helps you just stay grateful, stay humble, and keep looking forward and moving towards bigger goals. Because that's, I get, yeah, like that whole instant gratification thing, and like, oh, I wish I was here or there. And it's like, but I'm where I am, and there are good things coming. I wrote in my journal yesterday because I was so stressed and tired and like whatever. I'm like saying all these things. And then at the end, I said, but God is still good, and there are good things like just around the corner.
Yes. And there's nothing wrong with wanting those things right now, Kesley. Like wanting those things is good because it gives you something to look forward to.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote down in my journal the other day is that like suffering is overrated. So like don't sit in your suffering and don't beat yourself up and don't go down a negative path and of I don't have enough and I want this because wanting only creates more. And
Mm-hmm.
so what would be probably beneficial for you to do is practice intentions. Intending versus wanting, they're two totally different things.
That's right.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
And so I intend to live in a home. I intend to become a homeowner. I intend to experience living in a beautiful, creative space that I own. I intend to live in multiple places. I intend to be a world famous singer. I intend to have a huge hit that is an international success. I intend to receive millions of dollars. I intend to experience what it's like to live that life. I intend to experience living in the hills. Like, so here's the thing, like with comparisonitis, there is a fine line. I think that you can look to people for inspiration because there something you cannot forget is that there is no separation. Like, I really don't think there is separation. I feel like we're all part of this one collective thing, energy. And like on a very, very, very like high level, without getting too into it, like there's really like nothing different from me and this plant, right? Like we're energy, and
right.
at our very core, we are made of atoms at our very core. You know what I mean? And so there is no separation. And so when you see like when somebody has something that you want, it truly is like you have that, but they have it, or like it's possible for you too. If you would not see evidence of people having the things you want that you say you want in your life if it wasn't possible for you.
Right.
So we can't forget that there's no separation, that like we are all one, and it is possible for you too. So there comes a point where you can look at somebody and you could say, wow, like it's happening for them. It's possible for me. And then there's also the person that you look up to, but your internal dialogue is very negative. Like,
yes,
oh, she has it, or oh, like I want it, I need it now, or like, and it creates that wanting. There's like, there's the gratitude for them having it and like experiencing that joy for them and truly being happy for them. And that gives you good feeling. And then there's jealousy, comparisonitis, like wanting, creating suffering, sitting in your not such good vibes. You know what I mean? And that is when I think it's important to put your blinders on and stop exposing yourself to something that's triggering you like that.
Right.
You
Yes,
know?
I have that person in my life that's like, I see where they live and like what their life is like, and it looks so cozy and perfect and stress free, even though I know it's not. Like nobody's life is perfect and stress free and whatever, but it's to that point where when I see things, like I get upset and I start to not like the person, and it's like I've so many times I've had to just like stop looking, and only recently have I started to be like, okay, you know what, if it's possible for them, it's possible for me. And I had to look at it and be like, the reason I don't like seeing this is because I want to be doing what they're doing. But you know what? I can do what they're doing. That if that's where I want to be, I can. Like it's going to take time. It took time for them, but they put in the work at the beginning, and like I've kind of been on the fence and now I'm starting. So I just need to keep doing it. And when I see their stuff, I need to be happy and joyful for them, and joyful, happy for myself that I can do that.
And yes, amen to everything you just said. And I just had it like almost an epiphany. Like the more you want, creating more wanting, the more you want to do the thing that she did the way she did it, the longer it will take you. It will take time. But if you can do what, like in a general, like just looking at like what's possible for them is possible for me, because if you put your own spin on what she's doing, you're not doing what she's doing. You're doing what you were meant to do. You're doing what's authentic to you, and that is going to put you in the joy and creative space.
Right.
That puts you on the fast track to receiving the thing you say you want.
Right. Perfect. Yes, exactly.
Wow. And I have that person too. Like, oh my God. And it's like supposed to be my best friend, you know, but like, I feel that way, you know, we all do. I really feel like we all do. I mean, you're lying if you don't have that, you know, and everybody has that to some level. And also just never forget, people are only sharing like the good in their life on social media. That's what media is.
Right.
So I really believe that like if we didn't have that contrast, we wouldn't be able to experience the joy when we get to the thing we want.
Yeah. And I've been very thankful recently of like, you know, I get to experience life on this side and like working hard. Nothing is going to just be handed to me. Like it's wherever I end up is because I earned it, or I chose the path, or whatever, however I got there. So I'm trying to be as thankful and grateful for this time. I think it's because, this is like side note, but also related, I've been watching Keeping Up with the Kardashians, and the last episode, Courtney, who's the oldest.
The show.
Yes. So she was told Kim in the car that she doesn't want to be famous. She doesn't want to be a celebrity. She doesn't like the lifestyle of going everywhere and like cameras everywhere and like all these expectations, because of course, like she, when the show started out, had already had full college experience, like working normal job experiences, like a relationship, like all of these things. She had a completely normal life before all of it started, whereas some of the younger ones like grew up in it, they like it. Like when I see Kim, she seems so natural and like she likes it. I can't speak for, I don't know her, but Courtney was very vocal and like how it's not working for her.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I guess I just want to be like grateful for whatever I have right now, because I don't know what's in the future. It's kind of like a be careful what you wish for type of thing, but I just want to learn to be intentional and be content and like trusting of where God has me when he has me. I guess is
one day you absolutely will look back to where you are right now and say, wow, like those were the days. I mean, I do that now, like to my early 20s, you know, I look back and I'm like, oh my God, I look so young. I mean, I still do look young, but like, I mean, I literally saw a picture of me from 3 years ago and I was like, I look like a different person.
I saw that of you and Josh.
Oh my God. And like just the things I was doing, you know what I mean? And it's like, but then I wanted so badly to be where I am now. And it's just, you will look back and say like, wow, like I'm so grateful for that. So, and the only thing, like you always have, I mean, you don't always have tomorrow, but like your past is gone. Eckhart Tolle, he wrote The Power of Now. Actually, you should read that book. I should read that book. We should read it together. He also wrote A New Earth and several other books. But he says, die to the past every moment. You don't need it. That used to be a quote in my Instagram bio because it just speaks to me so much. You don't need your past. It's gone. And he says in that book that people who think about the past have been scientifically proven to age faster. It causes wrinkles.
What?
Yeah. So if that's not motivating to stop thinking about the past and just get present and
say no more
and practice gratitude, then I don't know what is.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Dude, I will get stuck in the past. It's the weirdest thing. Like, I really do.
Die to the past every moment. You don't need it.
That is something I need to write down and put up in practice. Like,
hang it up. That's such a good quote. And then one more thing on this, like seeing other people having what we want. A true lesson, and it's not easy to just get, right? This is like a practice. This is something you have to practice until it becomes real. But you have to practice celebrating someone else's success, no matter how bad you want it. because until you can really celebrate her or him or whoever and be like, yes, 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 truly, genuinely happy for that person, like that's never going to happen for you. You're not going to have the thing, or maybe you'll get the thing, but they won't be there to celebrate you. And you want people celebrating you, you want people cheering you on too. So like, let's cheer for these people genuinely. And if we can't right now, let's like at least separate yourself a little bit so that you can find who you are and what brings you joy, and not be so, maybe you're just a little too close to that person, and it's like your identities might be a little fused. And so if you can separate a little bit, give yourself permission to have space, there's nothing wrong with that, and then come back to it, then you can be happy for that person because you took your authentic path.
I think that's a humility building exercise.
I think the whole comparison thing can go right along with just forgetting how close you are to God and how loved you are by God, and forgetting like how perfect he made you in his image. And then you look at other people and you look to them as a God. Like you might not realize you're doing it, but you could be idolizing them instead of idolizing yourself and God.
Yes,
so,
exactly.
Can you share that quote, or do you have a quote that you're going to share?
I have this little bullet point that I wrote in my journal when I was just kind of like stressed last night, and my mind was just going crazy. So I just said, I'm just so tired. I know good things are coming. This is my life. There are things I can change and there are things I can't. What's important is that I follow God and become who he made me to be. And then I signed off.
I love that.
It's like you have to get down to like the core of what is important. And then you need to redirect your thoughts and your actions from that point, instead of allowing like all these other things that you're worried about to try to, okay, well, if I'm stressed about like, how I look, then I just need to focus on that. Like, no, you need to like get back to what's important, because literally, especially for Christians and stuff, like God is that center, is that core. And the Bible says too, like, I don't know what verse, but it just says like good things will flow from that center. Like if you just trust God, love God, like everything else will flow from that.
Yeah. I love that. Because if you're trying to be something that's out here, like if you're looking at this shiny object that's here and you try to like go over here and take action and create yourself from here, it's like never going to stick. It's never going to be real.
Yeah, it's not going to stick.
Come from here, you can literally just like whoosh.
Yes. Radiate.
Yeah. I just want to share this one verse that Lauren sent me this morning, because I had told you and I had told Lauren that like I felt kind of far away from God. It wasn't that like I had felt betrayed or anything, but just that through all this chaos, I've barely prayed. I haven't like asked for guidance or anything like that. And so she sent me this and it was for today. It says, I am with you and for you, your constant companion and provider. The question is whether you are with me and for me. Though I never leave you, you can essentially leave me by ignoring me, thinking or acting as if I am not with you. When you feel distant in our relationship, you know where the problem lies. My love for you is constant. I am the same yesterday, today, and forever. It is you who change like shifting sand, letting circumstances toss you this way and that. When you feel far from me, whisper my name. This simple act done in childlike faith opens your heart to my presence. Speak to me in love tones. Prepare to receive my love, which flows eternally from my cross. I am delighted when you open yourself to my loving presence.
I love that because it's God like talking directly to you. I think it just like breaks down that barrier of who God is, or like being like as if we are something and like God is something else. Like he is like right there with us.
There is
no
separation.
Exactly. So to read that as if he is speaking to you kind of gets you in the right mindset and place to receive more deeply, I think, which is why I love Jesus Calling. It's so good.
Yes. So if you are somebody who has been struggling with comparing yourself, or that negative voice, or you find yourself in a space that's not loving and kind to yourself, I think something you can do is just take a second and ask yourself, is this person or thing that, or celebrity or whatever that I'm comparing myself to, is it something that inspires me, or is it something that is actually tearing me down? And do I need to create that space and get silent and really like talk to God and figure out what's best for me in my life? Like, where do I take action now? And honestly, I think that that is as simple as journaling, cleaning up your social media, see who you follow, see what's realistic, what's not realistic. Like a lot of bodybuilders or models or whatever, like set these unrealistic expectations. The reality is that a lot of people, they get stuff done, you know? And so the key, I think, is to censor like what you're surrounding yourself with, and then try to just come from an authentic place of you, because you can never go wrong when you do that.
I'm glad we talked about this.
Me too.
This is important.
I've been feeling it, so
me too.
To talk
me
about.
Too.
So
yeah, absolutely.
Well, we love you all very much. Thank you for listening. If there's anything you want us to cover on the podcast, please just let us know. Comment below. Send us a DM. And yeah.
Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.